On today's show, the Dallas Mavericks lose to the Thunder, and they're just playing their guys. They're tanking. They're doing what they're doing. But who has a chance to make the roster next year, to make something big happen the rest of the season? We'll talk about that and more. Today's Locked On Mavs with who?
This is Cooper Flagg, and you're listening to Locked On Mavs.
I think that's a good question.
Good morning, Isaac. All these changes, I still got my dog Dwight Powell.
Your daily Dallas Mavericks podcast.
No one's dying.
Part of the Locked On Podcast Network.
Still can't leave.
Your team every day.
I'm going to get a city like that.
And welcome. You are locked on to the Dallas Mavericks, your team every day. My name is Nick Angstadt, media member covering the Mavs for over 10 years. Thanks for being an everydayer, making Locked On Mavs your first listen. Today's episode brought to you by FanDuel. FanDuel is giving you a way to turn that energy into bigger potential wins with a college basketball parlay profit boost. Head to FanDuel.com. Get started. That's FanDuel.com. FanDuel, play your game. And joining me, as always, my co-host, media member covering the Mavs for over 10 years, right alongside of me, the halftime headed home homie, the One More Thing King. What you got for me, Isaac Harris?
Yeah, there's 22 more. 22.
And for the great Slightly Biased YouTube channel, what'd you see from the Dallas Mavericks tonight, Slightly Biased?
Man, so much. So much. Just 48 minutes of basketball. Opening tip to final buzzer.
We'll talk about the Mavs' loss to the Thunder. We'll talk about a great many things from that game. We'll talk about some of the things we saw from some of these young guys. I want to talk about the Thunder a little later. Should they be the favorite still to win the title? What do we think about them? We'll get into all that. But let's start here, gentlemen. I want to start with a game called Do They Have a Chance? Do they have a chance? Does any of these players have a chance for the Mavericks next season? Do they have a chance to stand out the rest of the season? Because that's kind of what we're doing the rest of this season, right? We've got a bunch of these games left. When Cooper Flagg doesn't play especially, who's got a chance to really stand out for the rest of the season? Who's got a chance to make a name for themselves? Who's got a chance to play next season for the Mavericks? Who's got a chance to upgrade a skill or something? And we'll just go through, and we'll start with Ryan Nembhard, because he's kind of the player that we've been talking about recently. He just got signed for the rest of the season. A team option for next season. The Mavs got two more two-way guys. Isaac's going to talk about a couple of those guys a little bit later today on the show, and so we'll talk about the new two-way guys. But the Mavs are given a chance to Ryan Nembhard, and he got some time in this game. Played 24 minutes. He had 7 points. He had 5 assists. He had 5 turnovers as well. He 1 of 4 from 3. But Ryan Nembhard, Isaac, what kind of chance does Ryan Nembhard have the rest of the season? Does he have a chance to stand out, and how does he do that?
Yeah, I think he definitely has a chance. We were talking to the kid pregame, and he was naturally asked about Nembhard, and he was like, "Hey, he's gonna get a lot of run here for the final part of the season." So, and those are the type of guys you want to just throw a flyer on to see. They basically, by doing this deal, give him a standard deal. It basically just doubles the amount of games that they had left for him. If they didn't do this, we'd have to wait another couple weeks and then get the final, 8 games he had left or whatever. So they don't have to worry about that anymore. Throw him out there for 25, 30, 35 minutes a night. And ultimately, it's for them, they're going to have to try to figure out who's their guard rotation. What's their guard? How in football they have their quarterback room and all these different position rooms. It's for this, what does the guard room look like next year for Dallas? Because it's going to be Kyrie, and it's probably going to be this new draft pick. Outside of that, who else is going to be in that room? And this is where Nembhard has a chance to prove that.
Yeah, I'd say Nembhard definitely has a chance, especially with Tyus Jones getting waived. That would have been an interesting wrinkle.
Rip.
Rest in peace, man. What a legendary run. If they decided that they wanted to bring back Tyus Jones, I think that wouldn't have been good for Nembhard. But yeah, they've been better with him on the floor versus off. Coop's numbers are way better when Nembhard's on the floor. He's more efficient. So if you're just looking at it from that perspective,
he was a +1 tonight.
Yeah, there you go. He definitely has a shot. I'm not bullish on his long-term career, just being truthfully honest, just because I've become very anti-small guard really in recent years, but it's really kind of hammering home this year. So, but yeah, he's a nice offensive piece to have for a terrible offense. I think that's really what it boils down to.
He's just water in a drought, it feels like, for this team. All season, anytime he's come in, it's we're in the middle of a drought, and all of a sudden you get a rain, a little shower. It's not a huge thunderstorm, but it's just a little shower, of rain. And that's what he's been, because he's just been a set-the-table guard for the Mavs, and they've just been so bereft of any kind of guards like that this whole season, really. And I think he's got a chance to show that he can be an NBA player, kind of like. I think that's what he's fighting for the Mavericks. I don't think he's fighting for a specific spot in the rotation next year. If the Mavericks go into next season and we're going, well, Ryan Nembhard absolutely has a spot in a rotation, absolutely has, his spot nailed down. He must have shown something insane the rest of this season, right? Like I think that's the territory we're in with Ryan Nembhard. He could prove that he could be a solid backup in the NBA. I mean, we've seen guys his size succeed, but that's the problem, is that he has some pretty good skills. He's he's an incredible passer. He made one pass tonight where he drove left, jumped up, and then just like two-hand pass to the right corner, and you're just like, all right, that's a really solid pass, especially from a guy his size. But he gets worked on the other end too. Like there's a play in this game where I specifically noted it. Middle of the second quarter, Ryan Nembhard is defending Jared McCain on an isolation play. And Jared McCain, who is not big, I always thought Jared McCain was way bigger, and then you see him in person, he's like 6'2", he's like a small guy. ISO, and Jared McCain ran like posted him up all the way to the block.
Did a TikTok, then post him up.
Did a dance, did the single ladies to show off his nails, and then bumped him, and then hit a floater over the top of him, and just like moved him off his spot. And like if a small guard is pushing you off your spot in that way, that's probably a bad sign. And then, he did have a really good play the next time down the floor where he had, pick and roll with Cisse, did like that Nash dribble where he, searches the court around and then had a dribble handoff to Dwight Powell who got a layup. And so you go, all right, that's the two ends of the spectrum for Ryan Nembhard. He's just got to figure out how to compete on defense. That's been my thing with him since the very beginning. How can he compete on defense? Because it just hasn't been that way.
Let me flip it to another guy in Brandon Williams. Slightly, if the Mavericks are like, hey, we're not going to bring both of these guys back next year, and you had to pick one of these guys to bring back next year, which one?
Brandon Williams is just flat out better.
Yeah. Because I think they view it in hey, Brandon Williams is like a scoring type of small guard. Nembhard is more like a table setting type of like floor general small guard. It might be dependent on who you draft, or if like there's spot for one of them in that third guard role. I honestly don't know, because I could see a value in like a Nembhard of like, hey, we want that third guard to be like a guy who can like get everybody going and just like set the table type of thing. Or do you just want like a flamethrower type of Brandon Williams who can't shoot?
B-Will is 4 years older than Ryan Nembhard too at this point. And I guess if you're just taking him for next year, like that's probably what we're talking about with both of these guys. I think I would go, if you're just picking one guy, we want to be competitive, we need something. All right, we'll take the microwave scoring in Brandon Williams off the bench. But I don't know. Like I think I would take Nembhard if I was going to answer that question next season. Because the thing about Brandon Williams is, like, we know what Brandon Williams is at this point. Tonight, kind of one of those games. Started 14 points, missed both of his threes that he took, but only took 2 threes in 24 minutes. 3 assists. It's like, all right, it's solid. He can get downhill. We know that. He's been doing a lot more in the pick and roll lately, and so we've seen a lot more of his his passing ability. But he's not a table setting guard really at all. He's got that first step, can get into the lane, can score, can hit a midi every once in a while, but you're also not asking him to guard because he's a small guard anyway, and he's much bigger than Nembhard, which is kind of like striking when you see the two. So I don't know. I think you move on. I kind of would be like, just start clean, just start fresh with new guards. Let's just bring in some new guys. And I kind of think the Mavericks tried to do that with Tyus Jones, and then they just decided, you know what? All right, this isn't working. He's not who we thought he was.
Yeah, the Tyus Jones trade still to this day is incredibly puzzling to me.
Puzzling in what way? Like, you didn't want to take the chance at all?
Well, I just don't really understand it from the perspective of like, all right, I mean, that was a buy trade on a guy that got 3 second-round picks attached to hours before to get dumped, and then you're then swooping in and saying, no, actually, we'll take him and take a chance. I mean, you didn't give up anything, though, to be completely fair. But
true.
I did just find that trade so interesting when you could have just waived Malachi Branham right then and there and then converted to Andrew Nembhard. Like, that could have happened right then and there. Could it not have?
Yeah, I mean, you could have done that. But I mean, I don't think they lost anything.
No, I know, but I just did. The moment they made that trade, I was like, huh.
You got, what, how many 9 games out of Tyus Jones? How many games did he play? He started twice. I know that.
Yeah, what was it? The first game he started, and then he played like 5 minutes, and they were like, "All right."
It was like within 3 games, slightly, and I were like, "Oh, Tyus Jones started. Oh, Tyus Jones came off the bench. Oh, Tyus Jones played 10 minutes." It's like he was out of the rotation.
2 years. That's like what that was. Like, oh wait, I had my league pass subscription stopped renewing 2 years ago, so you're not good anymore.
Are we sure that this isn't another a GM kid move?
Well,
apparently
kid move or not, he was gone after 9 games, so he's just not that great anymore. My whole thing with that deal is like, why couldn't we have been the team instead of Charlotte that was like, hey, we'll take Tyus Jones with a couple seconds?
That was the part that confused me, where it's like, why weren't you the team that got the 3 second-round picks?
Charlotte's like, sweet. we got a couple seconds out of this, but oh well.
Strange. Ryan Nembhard, Brandon Williams, both guards that have a chance because the Mavs don't have a lot of guards, but their chances are kind of running out because their Mavs are probably going to draft a guard in the draft. They've got Kyrie coming back, and there's not going to be a ton of spots next season. And so they've got to show some stuff the rest of the season. They've got a chance. There's 20 games. Who else has a chance? And then also, let's talk about Moussa Cisse. What kind of chance does he have to show the Dallas Mavericks after his historic night? I'll talk about that more coming up. Today's episode of Locked On Mavs brought to you by BetterHelp. Everybody has things in their life you need to talk about. You also have people in your life that are doing a lot for you. I have people in my life, my mom, my sister, people in my life that just do a lot for me. They carry a lot, work, relationships, families, and all that. And I want to be better for those people that inspire me, those people that are better. I'm better because they are around and in life. And so those people deserve support, and therapy can help create balance and offer space to focus on ourselves because we have to figure out how to be better for those around us as well. Your emotional well-being matters. Find support and feel lighter in therapy. Sign up and get 10% off at BetterHelp.com/LockedOnNBA. That's BetterHelp, HELP.com/LockedOnNBA. I've used BetterHelp before. I like that you can change therapists whenever you want because sometimes you match with somebody that doesn't mesh with you or vibe with you at first. So you can change, and that's pretty awesome as well. So they have over 30,000 licensed therapists, more than 6 million people served worldwide. It's BetterHelp, HELP.com/LockedOnNBA.
Shut it down! Let's go home!
Thanks for hanging out with us on Locked On Mavs, being part of the show, part of the Raccoon Squad. That's what we call our listeners, listening every day. Appreciate you for checking out the show and listening. We have the text line. You can subscribe and get access to rumors, any kind of thing that's happening with the Mavericks. We will send a message to you right away before Twitter, before the show, anything else. We'll send a message to you on the text line. Sign up in the description and the links below. Go check that out, and we'll have that sent right to your phone. All right, Isaac, slightly, we're talking about the Mavs game against the Thunder. The Mavs got beat. I mean, the Mavs made them work a little bit in this game, but the Mavs just got beat pretty much end to end. The Mavs had a slight lead at the beginning of this game. It was like 9-4, and I was going, oh, it's kind of interesting. And then they sort of made them work, but the Thunder just kind of hung around. And what the Thunder do is they wait around, and then in the third quarter, they usually beat teams pretty bad. They're the best third quarter team in the NBA, and they didn't really in this one because the Thunder's offense just could not do anything. Really, in this game a lot. They were just struggling. They couldn't hit a 3. They were 8 of 39. Didn't get to the free throw line that often. But the Mavs just had a bunch of dudes out there, just a bunch of guys. And Moussa Cisse was one of those guys. Played 21 minutes. What kind of things can he show the Mavericks throughout the rest of the season? Because I do think he has a chance to maybe get a roster spot next season, to come back, to be in the big rotation. He had a historic night tonight. 12 rebounds, 0 points, 0 assists, 0 steals, 0 blocks. That's never happened in the history of the NBA. That's that line.
Right.
That was incredible to me.
Breaking records, baby.
Yeah.
Hey, as long as we're making history, right?
I personally like Moussa, and I think that there is real legit upside for him as energy big, and that kind of archetype is sort of making a resurgence in the league. Not that it's ever really went away, but there was a time not too long ago where like these bigs had lots of values on rosters, and then teams kind of wanted to stretch the floor a little bit more. Now these guys are kind of coming back. I like his energy. I love his effort on the glass. I think these are things that could be really valuable in a backup big, and assuming they do at some point convert his contract, that's $3 million. How much is Nembhard going to be making? Is it the minimum for these guys now? Barely any money, basically, to be a backup caliber big, which I think Cisse could potentially be. I think he's got potential to be in the big rotation for the Mavericks next season if that's the route they want to go.
Yeah, I'm with you slightly on Cisse because I think there is a spot for that energy big as like the third big. And, you look at, I know per 36 numbers are, it's not everything, but I was like, you know what? I just kind of want to look at what the per 36 is for Cisse. 11.5 points, 14 boards, and three blocks.
Hey.
It's just, trying to calculate like, hey, if you played that many minutes in a game type of thing. So I'm not saying he would be that, but what you try to get in like a third big, and a lot of people with that like 5 spot now in the league, everybody's looking for like, we've said this for years. It's like the bullpen in baseball of you kind of want all these different looks.
Back,
you want a stretch five, you want a rim rolling big, an energy type of big, and he can be that rim rolling energy type of big. So I like him. I would have personally given him the 2-way over Nembhard. Now at this point, the contract. Now at this point, it's like a matter of how do you create the spot for him because he has single digit games left. They could just
it's like 5.
They could just play this out and just find those 5 games. Is there a world in which they waive somebody else on the team?
Well, that's the thing. Who is
because
it? I mean,
here's the options. Dwight Powell. I really don't see that happening.
I think best case scenario, Moussa turns into Dwight Powell.
I just don't think that they would do that organizationally.
No.
AJ Johnson has $3 million this year and then 3.2 for next year.
We're gonna do more dead money.
So you have a little bit of dead money next year. I mean, here's the one that like people. It would be kind of weird because we just talked about him. Would they waive Brandon Williams for him?
I don't know what the point of that would be.
Is there not a thing like last year where you can wait until April or whatever that was?
Well, they just don't have a roster spot. So it's like,
Well, Middleton would have been the guy, and so we haven't really talked about that. Is that Middleton made the decision to sign with the Mavericks for the rest of the season, or to stay with the Mavericks for the rest of the season? That would have been the spot, but it's not going to happen now.
Well, here's the thing with Brandon Williams. Like, let's say internally for them, they're like, hey, like we gave Ryan Nembhard this standard deal. We're only going to have one of these guys on the roster next year, if either one, like, if that. If they're like, we've seen a lot of Brandon Williams, we kind of want a bigger guard room next year, and they've already kind of preemptively decided that they're probably not going to give him a big or like any type of contract this summer, then you just waive him now and sign Cisse because you're just starting his free agency 15, 20 games earlier.
They wouldn't do Bagley. That's the other option.
No, they wouldn't do Bagley.
I agree. If that's the route they end up going, I'll be really disappointed because, like you just said, I would rather have given that contract to Cisse personally. But again, that's my
they could just also
my anti-small guard stance on that.
Yeah, well, I know that they're not going to bring back Nembhard and Brandon Williams, right? Like, what's the point of that next season? Like, I don't see any benefit to that. Why don't just I think they just play out his last 5 games and then just like play through the season. You got Gafford and Bagley and Dwight. Just play those guys. Hopefully this Bagley neck injury is not too bad, but you just play those guys and see what it is and just roll. I mean, so Moussa does have a chance though, and I think he has shown some stuff that he could be part of the Mavs rotation next season. If Lively's coming back, they keep Gafford. They got back. Maybe they bring back Bagley and Moussa. That's the question: is how deep do they want to go? How many bigs do they actually want to have on the roster? Because they may need insurance for Lively, but that's the question for Moussa Cisse. I think is Bagley.
Yeah. What y'all think about Middleton's decision?
I thought it was strange. We said on the show the other day, like I would have left to go to a playoff team just at least for the fun of it at the end of the season, right? He's got a chance. He's still pretty good, but maybe he's just settled in with Dallas. He likes being the vet guy. I don't know how long he got to be the vet guy in Milwaukee, right? He was definitely in Washington, but maybe he likes that role.
Yeah, I mean it's definitely an interesting choice. I wonder what this means next year because I didn't even think Khris Middleton was going to play a game for the Mavs when the trade happened. Like I thought that was going to be an immediate buyout type of thing. So I don't know. I could definitely see a pathway where he's on the team next year on a small little contract is coming off the bench. I'm here for that, but yeah, I'm shocked he didn't want to buy out personally.
Yeah, I mean, some of those teams you heard, it was Denver and Detroit, and he could have had like a deep playoff run coming off the bench for somebody. But you look at a guy like Middleton who's on this expiring $30 million deal. Who, like, good luck guessing what his next deal is, because I have no clue. I mean, I'm assuming it's going to be more than like the minimum. Is it the biannual? Is it? I don't think he's getting 15 a year.
Well, maybe that's his bet. Maybe that's his bet. Is like, I can stay on this Mavs team and maybe score 20 a game and get a better deal than that.
That was kind of like how I kind of took it two different ways. I took it as, hey, he would rather like get minutes and actually play for a team and try to showcase a little bit for the next contract, or I think it could like show a testament to like just how the Mavs organization is right now. That he's like, hey, like I kind of like how things are, and I would be interested in being on. I know this team is going to like, I don't say go for it kind of lightly there, but like try to win more next year and kind of take that next step with Kyrie coming back and all the stuff. So I'm with slightly sad. Like I would be a big fan of having him come off the bench next year on a reasonable deal. I'm not giving him like the full MLE. All right. So
no,
which is like that 15 million.
Yeah. I don't think that.
Won't the Mavs have his salary or his bird rights though?
Yes.
He'll have like a version of that.
I gotta look at.
It's where it gets complicated, like deep CBA, like Bagley's thing, where the Mavs can only give us. They can only give him a certain
Khris
amount.
Middleton nicknames on Basketball Reference: WD-40.
Was he number 40? Was he number 40 for the?
That's awesome.
What?
Yeah, I don't know.
Give me another one.
Yeah, what's it?
Well, all the other ones, Baby Joe Johnson, Cash Money. I remember that.
Cash with a K, yeah. Cash Money, yeah. Money Middleton.
WD-40.
Y'all remember that stretch that Kendrick Perkins was like, Middleton is the best player on the Bucks.
Yeah, he was better than Giannis.
Yeah,
that was a very common thing, and I've been referencing that lately with this Luka discourse, where I'm like, guys, this is kind of the cycle stars go on, because we were having Khris Middleton is actually better than Giannis.
Yes, right.
Before he won.
Coming up, I want to play a game. We've not disclosed this, but we're late enough in the show. Slightly didn't watch a single minute of this game.
I have a very valid excuse.
He does have a valid excuse. I'm going to say things that happened in this game, and he's got to decide if they're true or not. We'll talk about them coming up. Today's episode of Locked On Mavs, whether you like it or not, brought to you by FanDuel. College basketball's nonstop, big games, tight spreads. Momentum swings every single night, from early tip-offs to late-night West Coast shootouts. There's always action on the board, whether FanDuel is giving you a way to turn that energy into an even bigger potential wins with a college basketball parlay profit boost. You can build any college hoops parlay you want. Isaac is consuming the college basketball all over the place, and I'm sure he's looking at, all right, I know who's going to win here. I want my guy Acuff to win over here, so he's checking out all the spreads, and he can do that. Go check it out with a basketball parlay profit boost on college basketball. Head to FanDuel.com to get started. That's FanDuel.com. FanDuel, play your game, where you can check out all kinds of different things like, let's check out Rookie of the Year. Con Canibal, minus 170. Cooper Flagg, plus 135. It's flipped completely now. Con is now the favorite to win Rookie of the Year, so go check that out and all kinds of other stuff with FanDuel. FanDuel.com. Also brought to you by Indeed Jobs. Workplace chaos, deadlines stacking up, inbox overflowing in the one position you have to fill, like maybe a post-game co-host that actually watches the games. When the pressure is on and you need to find the right hire, this is the job for sponsored jobs. Indeed sponsored jobs. In the minute that I've been talking to you, this is a cool stat. Companies like yours made 27 hires on Indeed, according to Indeed data worldwide. So if you're hiring, spend less time searching and sifting through candidates and trying to figure out who's exactly right, and let Indeed sponsored jobs narrow down the field for you. Check it out. Listeners of our show will get a $75 sponsored job credit to help out your job and give it the premium status that it deserves. Indeed.com/podcast. This is what you go to. Indeed.com/podcast right now. Support our show by saying you heard about it on Indeed. Indeed.com/podcast. Need to hire. This is a job for Indeed sponsored jobs.
Shut it down! Let's go home!
All right, Isaac. All right, Slightly. We're talking about the Mavs game against the Thunder. They lose this one. The tank rolls on. Grizzlies get a win tonight. Liking that one. What's the status on the Pelicans game? I need the trash compactor returns.
Sorry.
We need the Pelicans to be winning. They're losing by like 20 to the Clippers right now. Slightly wasn't able to watch this game. His internet was out for the whole game. We didn't talk about it. Isaac and I watched the game. But here's some things that happened in the game. Slightly, you need to tell me if this is true or false.
Okay.
Dwight Powell played multiple stints at the 4, not just a one-off at the end of the game. Multiple stints during the game. He played next to Gaff and Moussa.
Happened.
It did happen. The Mavs finally went double bigs. They played both these guys together. They started the fourth quarter with Dwight and Gafford.
Or what? There was
they were playing zone.
Available?
They were playing zone. Yeah, they were running out of guys. And they're running out of guys. But this happened in this game, and I was like, oh my gosh, what we've hit levels of tank I've never seen before with Dwight playing the 4. They were playing a zone. He was playing up in the zone. He was playing like the top right corner of the zone.
That is pretty hot. I'm looking at who is available tonight, and it's like all guards. So somebody had to play the 4.
Right. Naji didn't play. PJ didn't play. Obviously, Coop didn't play. And the Mavs didn't have any 4s outside of that anyway.
All right, I got one.
Go for it, yeah.
In the third quarter, Lou Dort closed out on a 3 of Caleb Martin, and Caleb landed on his foot, and crowd lost their mind. Lou Dort, and they had to review it. And looked kind of dirty at first glance, but it's kind of up for interpretation.
Well, that sounds like that it could happen at least 3 times a game for the Thunder, so I'm just going to say yes.
No, it didn't.
Relatively clean game for Lou Dort.
Okay. I will say I watched the first 3 minutes of the game on the treadmill at the gym on my phone, and it was Lou Dort shot a 3, and immediately it was boo, but not Lou. I can tell the difference.
Starting lineups?
From starting lineups. And I couldn't tell if it was Lou's or Boo's because there was a lot of Thunder fans here tonight. But every time it took a 3.
A lot of Thunder media, too.
I was outnumbered. I was at the beginning of the game. I was sitting in my section by myself, and there was 8 Thunder media people, including our guy Rylan from Locked On Thunder.
I got to meet a couple.
Yeah, you did. They didn't like you as much.
And I want to say, guys, before I texted Nick, I said, "Hey, internet's out," and then my internet flicked on with about 3 minutes left of the game, and I said, "Hey, should I get on tonight's show?" And he was like, "Yeah,
absolutely, yes." Caleb Martin led the Mavs in scoring at halftime with 9 points.
All right, I don't want to cheat on this, but I'm looking at the box score. I know he led the team in scoring.
Yeah,
so
but at halftime with 9 points.
Yes.
All right, I got another
9
one.
points, man.
Pre-game, Mark Daigneault was asked about the Nuggets' response to Lou Dort, calling him a dirty player, and he went on a eloquent speech on how good the Nuggets are and how much he respects them.
Sounds like Daigneault, so I'll say yes.
Yeah, that was true.
Bang. Respecting the opponent. Another Maverick left the game with an injury and did not return in this one.
I'm going to say no.
It's true. Klay Thompson did leave this game with a contusion, and he did not return.
All right.
Sucks.
Add it to the list.
Another Maverick on the injury list.
I guess I should. The automatic answer to that question should just be yes.
Yes, it should have been.
Caleb Martin had another epic layup attempt that was like a Euro. You didn't know it was like a Euro step mixed with like a trip, and then he jumps off like 1 foot and like throws it up in the air, but they called a foul.
I'm gonna say yeah, man. My guy Caleb Martin, 18 points. He's been hooping.
It happened.
He had 3-quarter threes tonight too. He has been actually good. If we're talking about who has a chance, Caleb Martin already spot in the rotation for me.
No, he had one of those layups tonight, and I just started laughing. I was like, "There's no way this happened again."
Nothing will beat that fast break with Coop. And Coop had like a big scoring night.
He almost had, he was gonna have 50 if he gets past that.
That was the 50-pointer.
He was Chet got hurt on a play, fell down, was holding his knee, then complained when he got told to come out of the game.
I saw that one. Yeah.
Yeah, he did. He complained. He's on the.
Right?
He's on the ground. Is it icy hot? He's on the ground.
Chet and Yahoo. That's what they say on Twitter.
Who calls him that? Whose idea was it?
Common nickname for him.
Whose idea was it to have just slightly on the show tonight? SGA jammed on Max Christie.
Yeah, can we briefly kind of do, you know how on like Hoop Collective they do Cavs Corner?
Go for it.
Yeah.
You're talking about the
Thunder
Cavs?
No, I don't care
okay.
about the Cavs. They
Okay,
are
good.
fun to watch now, but
Okay.
You're
You're talking about the Thunder's Cavs?
Shea's 20-point streak is nuts.
Against visiting teams? Or like on the road?
Well, just in general. He's
or just in general?
like 3 games away from breaking it.
Yeah.
The
I mean,
all-time
just-
streak by Wilt.
That efficient. I mean, just the consistency is wild. From a fan base with Dirk Nowitzki that just prided itself on loving just loving consistency of Dirk. Just every night coming out 20 points. Not always going to give you 40, like not the swings of like a James Harden, but just giving you 20, 24 points every night. And SGA does that.
So assuming he plays and is healthy, he should break that record next week.
That's wild.
better
That's
than
insane.
LeBron's,
20
like
20 points in a game.
I agree.
Like straight, like not any qualifiers.
Yeah, and for me, that's just because those are both my guys. LeBron is the greatest of all time, and Shea is on his way to being in that conversation.
Now it's really who let this guy on
It's
this
like
podcast.
Isaac hates that even worse than the Chet nickname. Yeah, but SGA did jam on Max Christie. Like you don't think of SGA as like a dunk guy, but he just absolutely murdered Max.
I got an SGA one. Did
Go
it
for
happen
it.
or not?
Let's go.
SGA spent a good like 15 plus minutes signing autographs before the game.
Sure.
Also,
He
it was
did.
like 20.
I watched him and I was so impressed. Like I know that this goes against like Mavs fandom. You're supposed to hate OKC and all this stuff. This dude, I watched him sign a baby. I watched him go up into
the baby's skin.
Well, the baby had this like the guy was literally holding out like Lion King. But
Did he do the thing on the forehead like Lion King too?
He legit went up into the stands and like people were coming down the stands and like kids were running on the stands. He's like waiting on them and stuff, signing all these things. I mean, he did it forever, and that's the MVP of the league. Like
That's awesome.
that. As much grifting as he does, that part is really cool with like the fans and him taking the time out for the fans and stuff like that. I know Way Team Arena too. Like it's pretty awesome.
Yeah, that is cool.
Dwight
Final
Powell,
one.
Thunder fans there, though.
Oh, you got one too, Nick?
Dwight Powell caught a lob from Khris Middleton that made me wonder what Brandon White was up to.
Oh, true. What is Brayden Wright up to nowadays?
Oh, dude, I loved him.
That
Me
lob
too.
to Dwight was incredible.
He was the one I was most sad about in the Rondo trade.
He went to UNC. I got one more. Before the game, when players are doing their stretches and stuff outside the locker room, Jared McCain had a tripod set up doing a TikTok.
False. He didn't need a tripod.
I'm going to say, and I have evidence to support my claim, false. My evidence is you made this joke already in the group text.
He texted us this show. Wait, doesn't play where we all know.
I have a crazy trivia question for you guys.
About this game?
No, God, no. Who was the number 1 seed in the Eastern Conference the last time Cam Thomas recorded a steal in a game?
The crap?
Like in the middle of the season or for the end of the season?
Just the last time Cam Thomas recorded
The
a steal
Cavs.
in
I'm
a
going to say
game.
the Cavs. I'm saying it was last year.
The Chicago Bulls.
No.
Oh, at the start of that one year when they had the
No,
defense.
this year. To
No,
be fair,
this year.
When they were like 6-1 to start the season.
Yeah, everybody's like, Josh Giddey?
Cam Thomas. Oh, my God.
Not crazy. How was that even possible?
Last one on SGA for me. He checked out with 47 seconds left in the game.
Well, it was a kind of close game, so I'll say true.
It was not close in the end.
Well, 13 is. I don't know if that's just sit all your guys' territory.
Guys, these are the points scored in the fourth quarter. The Thunder had 17, the Mavs had 18. You know how brutal that is?
Yeah, that was
Yeah.
not. That was.
Like,
That's-
neither team hits 20 points.
That's what's really nice about this Mavs team, especially with no Coop, is they're really fun to watch.
Prediction. Cooper comes back against Boston.
I spent most of the fourth quarter trying to figure out how to pronounce the new two-way guy's name. Pulakidis.
Oh, yeah, Pulakidis from Yale.
I cannot wait until his first, two. Assuming he plays. He might not play at all.
He's shooting 47% on 8.5 threes a game in the G League.
Dude, literally, it was like 2 weeks ago. He hit 10 threes in a game. Like, broke the record.
Okay. He'll play. He'll play the rest of the season.
Yeah,
And they need somebody like this.
3 threes.
They'll
People
play
are like,
Max.
uh-oh.
They'll play Max Klay and this guy at all the same time. It'll be like, oh my God, we have shooting again.
Yeah,
He's like a
let's do
bigger
it.
Luke Kennard.
B will get like 40 points because he actually has spacing.
By the way, this was the Mavs' last home game until March 16th.
Yeah, we got a ways here. We're 3 weeks off.
sorry.
Then we had like 4 in a row, and now here we are again.
We're about to get some gross Rookie of the Year content because they go to Charlotte on Tuesday.
Well, Cooper's not even playing that game.
I know. That's what I'm saying. But
Dude,
I got come back against Boston. That's my prediction.
I got this question like 4 times tonight. Is Coop getting shut down?
Are you
I
asking?
hope not. That'd be
Yeah, I'm
disgusting.
just asking you guys.
No, I don't think he gets shut down.
Me neither.
I'm just going to leave that alone.
Check out Slightly Biased, great YouTube channel. We'll have more stuff coming. We'll talk about the two-way guys. We'll talk about Nembhard and Moussa a little bit later today on the show. So subscribe wherever you're listening, watching this. Guys, thanks so much for listening to Locked on Mavs.
Peace out.
Boom!
Congrats, Nimby.